Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn to Trade with Tony, and hopefully I'm going to teach you how to trade the head and shoulders pattern or the inverse head and shoulders pattern. They're very similar, but before I do that, remember to hit the thumbs up button, smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying my content. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because I do go live every single trading day, at least an hour before market opens, usually 2 hours before market opens. So if you want to join me, interact and learn, hit that notification bell and you'll be notified every time I'm going live. So enjoy the tutorial, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments below. Okay, welcome back to Learning to Trade with Tony, and today we're going to learn how to trade the head and shoulders pattern. So first I'll go ahead and define the head and shoulders pattern. Well, it's simply the markets moving like this, or in the inverted head and shoulders like this. Well, think about what happens. You're in an uptrend, for example, and you rally, make a peak, you pull back a little, and then you make another peak, the second peak of which is the head, and those are the shoulders. You pull back again, but the third peak loses a little bit of momentum. Well, that's the first sign of trouble, okay? Head and shoulders patterns are very common. They're widely followed, and a lot of traders would pay attention to, which is why I like them so much. Now, this is a downtrend, an inverted head and shoulders, if you will. And you see we go a little lower. We pull back. You would expect we go even lower, but that's even better for the sellers. And the third time, we don't continue the downward pressure. So what invariably happens is that a little time goes by, and those traders, they start to become a bit concerned. And there's a neckline there, and the reason the neckline is important is because it's the trigger for selling. Because you're in an uptrend, you've got people who bought all the way up to here and up to here, or even here, okay? And once you get through this neckline, you're breaking lows on a lot of different groups of traders. You have trap traders, if you will, and then you sell off. The head and shoulders has a built-in measuring stick. You just take the highest point of the pattern to the neckline and extrapolate that down. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a failure to continue to make an uptrend. They don't have to be straight up. They can be at angles as well. So, you know, instead of just straight up, the ones that are straight like this are a little easy to spot. But beyond that, there really is no difference. I'll go ahead and mark out the head and shoulders on this chart. And mark out the neckline. So by the time you break down through here, you have all of these traders that are trapped. And what you do is you measure the height. Like I said earlier, I'm going to eyeball this, and I'm going to say that we're looking at a bottom of 133 and a top of 134. And it's about $1.10. So on this breakdown, you're looking for a move at about $1.10 lower, which would have been 132. And we most certainly got that. There's also the inverted head and shoulders. So you can see, as a recap, we rallied again, and we got a little exhausted and we broke apart. The inverted head and shoulders, this one we've been moving lower on the Intel chart, 15-minute chart. You can see everybody's happy, then all of a sudden there's a bit of a problem. You can see that, let's see, 50, 49, 34, 90. So there's $1.10 or so over here as well. Once you break over there, we do drop back down, and we eventually hit the target. Now, the question is, where do you put stop losses? Well, the most obvious place to put a stop loss is behind the shoulders, and that's what most people will do, because it's very construction is going to be less than you're aiming for, because you're aiming for that distance, and the distance is lower. So although you would have had a bit of a scare here, your stop stayed in place and you continued to go higher, eventually collecting your profits.